Hello everyone. After knowing about the Ward-Leonard mechanism, now we are going to talk about all electric steering gear. So what is our purpose? Our purpose is to drive a rudder. So this motor, this is your steering gear motor or rudder motor. So the motor shaft is coupled to steering gear. Okay. So this shaft is coupled to the steering gear. Okay. This is connected to the rudder stock, and the rudder stock is attached to the rudder. Okay. So this is your rudder motor, which is basically a shunt motor, but this also has a series field. So this motor is the armature of the DC motor or the rudder motor, and this is the field of this rudder motor. So this motor, this rudder motor has got two fields. One is the shunt field, which has got many number of turns of less cross-sectional area wire, and the other is series winding, which is having few turns but of larger cross-sectional area. So few turns, larger cross-sectional area means resistance is less and more current can flow through this. Okay. So this is your rudder motor. This is the armature of the motor, and this is the field of the motor. We'll talk about what is the purpose of this series field. This DC shunt motor is supplied through, the armature of the DC shunt motor is supplied through a DC generator. Okay, this generator is solely for the drive of this rudder motor. Now this is a DC generator, and to generate a DC voltage across the armature of this motor, armature of this generator, what we require, how we generate a voltage? We require a field flux, and the flux has to be cut. So on this rotor we have got a rotor conductor, and this rotor conductor will cut the armature conductor, which will cut the flux. This is the field of this DC generator. Okay. So when we excite this field of this DC generator, then what will happen? This will get magnetized, the flux will be here, and that will be cut by this armature conductor if somehow I can rotate this armature conductor. So to rotate this armature conductor, we have got a DC shunt motor. Why DC shunt motor? Because it's a constant speed motor. We want to run the rotor of the generator or armature of the generator at constant speed. So we have used a shunt motor. This is the shunt field, this is the armature of the shunt motor, and the supply we give it from the main supply. The main supply is here, this is the positive. From here the supply to this shunt field motor is via the field of this rudder motor. See, the current from the supply is coming. When you start the motor from the starter, the current will flow from the supply through this series field. Then see, the current will come up to this junction, and then part of the current will flow through this shunt field and part of the current will flow through this. Okay. Back to the supply. So this is how, when we start a motor, this is a drive motor, this is a DC shunt motor. So when we start the motor, then the rotor shaft starts rotating. On the rotor shaft we have got the armature conductor of the DC generator. Okay. Now to excite this field of this DC generator, we provide it through a exciter. So this exciter is a small generator. Again it will have a field and the armature. So this is the armature of this exciter, this is the field of the exciter. Now the exciter field has to be excited, and that we supplied through the Ward-Leonard mechanism. Previous lecture we had talked about Ward-Leonard mechanism. So this is the Ward-Leonard mechanism. See, you have got two conductors connected in parallel, and this needs to be supplied. So from the mains only we are giving a supply to the Ward-Leonard mechanism. See, we are connecting here, and from the negative we are connecting to the Ward-Leonard mechanism. So we have given the supply. Now here onto this, what is done is there are two threaded square rod. Okay, this is the threaded square rod, and this is another bottom threaded square rod, and on that we have got two slider. These are the sliding contact, and this also is threaded, so that on this threading this can move. If I can rotate this threaded spindle, okay, then this slider can rotate either side. So to rotate this spindle, this spindle is connected to a wheel, and this is called maneuvering wheel, okay, or the steering wheel. See here, the steering gear, we are able to turn the rudder to 35 degree on either side. Okay, so 35 degree port to 35 degree starboard, and this is your midship position. So at midship position, the slider is at half the length of this conductor. Okay, now bottom also we have got this sliding slider, and bottom also we have got threaded spindle. Okay, this on the threaded bottom threaded spindle we have got a bottom slider, and that makes a contact with the bottom conductor. Top slider makes a contact with the top conductor, and the two conductors are supplied from the main supply. Okay, so this is what it is. Now from here you see that from this shaft of this rotor of this motor through the gear and pinion, this is also attached to the bottom slide, to the bottom threaded rod. Okay, so that when the motor rotates, this motor is rotating through the gear and pinion, the torque will be transmitted to this shaft, which is connected to the bottom threaded rod. So this can rotate. If this rotates, this slider will also slide on either side. Okay. Okay. So now this is the arrangement. So we know about the four principles of the Ward-Leonard mechanism, and this is the Ward-Leonard mechanism. Okay. Now we'll start. How this works. So we have started this motor, the rotor drive motor we have started, the rotor which is driving the armature of the DC generator as well as the armature of the exciter. Okay, so the conductor, armature conductor of the exciter and the DC generator is rotating. Now if we excite the field of the exciter, then the voltage will be generated across the exciter. This voltage will be exciting the field of the main generator. This armature which is rotated by the drive motor will cut the flux, and a EMF will be generated. That EMF will be supplying through the steering gear motor, and then the motor rotor will rotate, and that will rotate the rudder. Okay, so this is how it works. Now initially what happens, the rudder is at midship, so this is at midship position. This slider and the bottom slider, there are half the length of the rod, so the potential difference between them is 0, so no current flows through this sliding contact. That means no excitation to the exciter field, no voltage across the exciter, no excitation to the main this DC generator main field, no voltage across this DC generator. So no excitation to the, or no supply to the armature. When there is no supply to the armature, F is equal to BIL, so I is 0. So that means force is 0, no torque, and the rudder is remaining at midship position. Okay? Even if the field is supplied but the flux density is 0, flux density is there. So F is equal to BIL, B is there but I is 0, so no force, no torque, and the rudder is on stop position. Now next movement we'll see. Suppose we are giving the 20-degree port. So this wheel we are turning, rotating, so this pointer will slide and coincide with 20-degree port, let us say. So when it coincides with 20-degree port, this slider will slide to this side. Let us say it has slided to X point. So now the upper slider is X, point X, and bottom slider is still at midpoint because this motor is not rotating till now. So now there is a potential difference. Okay, this is at higher potential, this is a lower potential. So the current will flow from top conductor to the bottom conductor, and how it will flow? Through this sliding contact, through the exciter, through this bottom exciter, and to this conductor. So the exciter will get excited through the current, and then this because this motor is already running, DC shunt motor is running, drive motor is running, so this armature is rotating, the exciter got excited, so the voltage is generated across the exciter that excites the main field pole here. The generator generates voltage, and that voltage is applied across the armature. Now see here, the current is flowing from top conductor to the bottom conductor because this is at higher potential than the bottom conductor. So this is positive, this is negative. And what is the third principle of Ward-Leonard? That the magnitude of this voltage generated will depend upon the excitation, that means the flux here, and the rate of cutting of the flux, that is rotated by the constant speed motor. So this rate of cutting of the flux is constant. Depending upon how much is the excitation, it will generate accordingly some voltage, and corresponding to that this will be excited. Now what will be the polarity of this? The polarity of this, the magnitude will be decided by the rate of cutting of the flux and the excitation. But what will be the magnitude of this exciter voltage from the exciter? Again, this is positive, this is positive, this is positive, so this will be positive, this will be positive, sorry, this will be positive, this will be negative. So now this exciter is excited from the polarity, this is positive, this is negative. So the generator, DC generator output will be, this is positive, this will be negative. So the current will be flowing from positive to negative. Okay, and let us say this rotates in clockwise direction. So the rudder turns in towards port side. Okay, so now till how it will stop at 20-degree port, that we have to see. So when it starts rotating, this feedback shaft will start rotating through the gear and pinion arrangement. So this will also rotate, and when this is rotating, this slider will move to this side. As it is moving towards this side, towards X dash, then what is happening? The difference of potential is reducing. So the current is reducing, excitation is reducing, voltage is reducing, armature current is reducing, armature current is reducing, torque is reducing. So the rudder starts moving slowly towards port, and as the bottom slider comes to X dash, just below the X, the top conductor, so the potential difference will be 0. When the potential difference will be 0, then what will happen? No current will flow. When no current will flow, no excitation to the exciter field, no excitation to the exciter. So no excitation to the DC generator field, no output here, and the rudder will stop at 20-degree port, because now the motor, there is no voltage, so no current. When no current, then F is equal to BIL, I is equal to 0. So the motor stops, the torque to the rudder stops, and the rudder stops at 20 degree. So that is how this feedback shaft is very important. Many of the time you forget to draw this, but if you forget to draw this, the rudder will not stop at 20 degree, it will keep on turning towards port side. Okay. So now this is how it is. Now suppose I want to give 30 degree starboard. So I am turning this wheel in opposite direction till it comes to coincide with 30 degree on the scale of this steering gear system. On the scale it comes to this pointer excites to coincides with the 30 degree starboard. Now what happens? That means when you are turning in opposite direction, now this slider starts moving to this side. Let us say it comes to X dash, and this pointer is still here. X double dash. This pointer is still here. So now this is at higher potential, this is at lower potential. So now the current will flow from bottom slider through the exciter to the top slider. So now the polarity is, this is positive, this is negative. This motor is running continuously. So and once the exciter field gets excited, it is cut by the flux is cut by the conductor. So a EMF will be generated, but with the reverse polarity, because the polarity of the generated exciter output will depend upon the polarity of the exciter, the field. So here the field, now the current is flowing from bottom conductor to the top conductor. So this is positive and this is negative. That means this is positive, this is negative. So the polarity is reversed. So the excitation polarity is reversed. So the voltage generated will be having a reverse polarity. So now this is positive, this is negative. Now the current will be flowing from positive going to the negative. Okay. So here and we had talked in the fourth principle that the torque of this motor is depending upon the current which is flowing and the polarity of the current which is flowing through the motor. So now the polarity is reversed. Earlier the current was flowing from positive to negative. Now the current is flowing from opposite direction through the armature of this rudder motor. So then what will happen? This torque will be created in opposite direction, and that will rotate in opposite direction to the previous direction. So the torque will be transmitted to the rudder in opposite direction. So this feedback shaft will now start moving in opposite direction. So now the slider will start moving from X double dash to Y double dash. When it comes to in line with the X, the point where the top slider is there, then the potential difference between them will be 0. When the potential difference between them will be 0. So again no excitation, no output, no excitation to the main field, no output from the generator, and the motor stops. So this is how your steering gear system works. Okay. Just go through it once, you will be able to understand.